Here to tell us what it's like to work for the richest man in the world is Inherited's AI founder and lead AI innovator and former SpaceX and Starlink information compliance and assurance lead, Vincent Peters. Vincent, great of you to be here. It's just, Mark Andreessen describes, and I've talked about the Musk method, describes Musk as being more like one of the early industrialists, where he knows everything about the company from top to bottom and gets down in the trenches and asks the very question that he asked all the federal employees, what have you done in the last week? And that's how he ends up being a problem solver. But what was it like working at SpaceX?
Well, working at SpaceX was one of the most, I would say, eye-opening experiences I've had in my professional career. I've worked in banking, I've worked for the United States government as a contractor, and going to SpaceX, you have someone like Elon Musk, who is this generation's, industrialist for this generation. And he creates an environment where those folks who work for him, he has ultimate trust in them, and he trusts them until he loses trust in their ability to be able to do their jobs. He's definitely not a micromanager, but does believe in the first principles concept of being able to understand what folks need to do, understanding the problem at a fundamental standpoint, and then addressing it from there.
There's a lot of folks in D.C. who I think are hoping that Musk will back down from the approach he's taking now. Is he the kind of guy who, with pressure that he's getting in D.C., is likely to back down, or how do you expect him to respond?
I think if you look at Elon's track record at both Tesla, when they were, having financial issues, and SpaceX, I got to SpaceX in 2018, and they went through a bit of a restructuring and laid some people off as soon as I got there. I've not seen them back down, at Tesla or SpaceX, and I don't expect it to back down on this stage, especially when the future of the nation is on the line.
Vincent, what could he accomplish with the working underneath President Trump? But really, the goal is to right-size the federal government and cut waste like no one ever has before. Because for years, it's kind of insane to think that we've been expecting the people who created this vast $36 trillion in debt problem to be the people who would somehow fix it.
Absolutely. We have the right, we have the right president at the White House who understands that the country needs to be run from a business perspective. And if you're going to run it from a business perspective, you have, some of the best people in the history of business there helping to solve the country's problems. One of the things that we've done at Inheritance that I learned at SpaceX was that, with working with the government, even as government contractors, which SpaceX is a government contractor as well, we are fiduciaries of the American taxpayers' dollars, and we want to make sure, you can look at the track record of SpaceX and how they've worked with NASA and the savings and efficiencies that they've provided to NASA with being able to send astronauts to the space station and send satellites to geosynchronous orbit, to low Earth orbit. We use those same vehicles. No other companies are working in that way. So that type of innovation that was applied to space, that type of innovation that was applied to electric vehicles is the same type of innovation that is going to take to help America right the ship and right the path that we're on right now.
Vincent Peters, you know what it's like to work for Elon Musk. He knows his stuff. He never backs down. We appreciate your perspective on it today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right.